Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the No Suit Survival series. I've had a bit of a fiddle around with my audio settings. Now I've got OBS, the desktop audio is reduced, and also my Space Engineers game sounds are reduced. So hopefully even while I'm doing something that's really noisy, like thrusting around in a rocket like this, you should still be able to hear my voice pretty clearly over anything else that's happening. Now, we've only got 20% fuel, so I've decided that, we're definitely going to come down now, even though I haven't found any nickel. And I waited for the sun to come around so that I've got a nice sort of landing, so I can land in daylight rather than in nighttime or anything. Before I go down, I need to increase my parachute hatch's auto deployment height. Because of my speed mod, I'm going to be coming in at about 500 meters a second, so if they're at 1 kilometer, I'll only have 2 seconds, which is probably not enough time, so I think 1.5 kilometers is nice and safe. We are lined up as best as we can, I think. I'm a little wary that because of the curvature of the planet and the way that the gravity is not perfectly linear or whatever, if I come in on an angle, I'm gonna sort of be a fair ways off from my target. So let's just see how we go. We've entered the gravity well now, and I'm just gonna speed up. Let's just keep going all the way up to the maximum speed so that this trip doesn't take anywhere near as long. And as you can see, this vehicle is really limited in its ability to come down and go up, so I do have a feeling that I'll probably only use this once. However, if I do actually manage to land it pretty much spot on with where I want to, it will be good proof that it can be reused. However, I am a little bit skeptical of whether or not I can actually achieve that sort of precision. So what I might need to do is I might need to build another spacefaring vessel that can go up and down, and that would probably need to have a gravity drive or something, some ion thrusters perhaps, something that can allow it to go around in space without requiring too much fuel, because this rocket has gone through about 30% of a fuel tank, which is kind of excessive. Now that is looking like a pretty good lineup right there. I think I'll be coming down pretty much spot on. Make sure I drift a little over to the left. There's the connector there, so that should be good. Now we should just be able to spin around, parachutes deploy, and we should just be able to drift down. So what I'll do is I'll leave my no, I won't leave the dampeners on because it's actually able to stop my momentum, which is not what we want. So that is looking pretty good. I just need to make sure I can go up a little bit, and the connector is on that facing, so I've got it on my hotbar, and we should be able to get that. That looks pretty good. I think I need to go over to the side there a little bit. A little ways off. Oh no, maybe not. It's so hard to tell from this perspective. And let's rotate a little bit. And yeah, this is another good reason of why I wanted the parachutes to deploy at a good height, so I would give myself a lot of time to do all these corrections so I can sort of land this. And there's the hole that we launched out of. We just need to make sure that we get more correctly aligned with that. How's that looking? Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see if I can get into the hole that we jumped out of. Oh, and we just barely missed the connector. Okay, well, that, assuming we come to a nice stop. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So we should be able to close the parachutes and come out. All right. So everything is intact. The connector's taken a little bit of a scrape. Thruster is intact, and all we damaged was this little walkway here, but that's not a big issue at all. So what we need to do is we need to come up with a way to connect back to the base. Now I can come in and grab my tools. I believe I left them in like cargo container 2, I think. Yeah, okay. I did. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab those back out. I actually took my elite rifle up with me. That was kind of dumb. We can get rid of these and we'll take our more fancy tools back out. So the drill, and there we go. And now I need some, if we go to cargo container 1, that's got all my stuff in it. We're not going to need large tubes to build anything, but I'm going to need some of these. And probably some of these. Oh, is that all my construction components? Oh, well. That is a bit of a struggle. First of all, before that starts transferring, I'm going to check. I added a bunch of yield modules. Oh, I need to change my character tools as well. I wish you could just right click these. I hate that it overwrites like whatever's in the first slot. So we've got all these yield modules ready to go. Now they require 20 superconductors and 4 motors each. The motors might actually be a bit of a struggle. I don't know how many motors have we got? Four motors. Yeah, no, we should be okay. So we want cargo 1, and I'll just transfer all of those over. I want that. Nice. I want all the like component. I need to have like a proper sorter. I want the ingots to be like first and then components, I guess. Makes sense. So we've got all the ingots along the top, all the components after that. I'll just make sure we've got like the main building block stuff, and then I'll have like ammo at the end. Now if we go production, superconductors, yeah, they only require gold and iron, so we need to get the refineries doing those first. So how are we going to hook back up to the base? That is going to be the main question here. I could put a, is that resting on there? I could build like a piston perhaps, and then a rotor and a hinge there. I could try connecting that up to that perhaps with that would require a rotor and 2 hinges or something like that. Where else could we I can't grind off the oxygen tank because that's like what's holding this in place here. Maybe coming out of that would be easiest. So that would be like a hinge that's coming down like this, which we change to this angle, and then we can place one that's like side to side and then connect up something there. I could try building, and I'd have to dig into the ground to build in like a connector that connects to it. So I'm gonna have to hook it up with a hinge or a rotor or something, I reckon. So let's have a look. See, let's try here. Have enough for us to place a sorter? Do I have enough to build it? No. I need to put them into production. And I have a full cargo anyway, so what we can do, I'm gonna need a bit of a scaffold here. Can I place another? I don't think that, it's not like a connection point there, but I can
Energy low.
place a block underneath if we use the local grid alignment. Yeah, I'll do that. So I've got something to work off of here. And we can place a ramp or a stair here so that I can walk up. Right, now we can do our rotor and our hingey shenanigans. Let's build them up. Can I reach them? I can. By jumping. Can I reach that one? Nice, I can. Oh, and I don't have enough for it. I need to add it my build planet. There we go. Now, reduction, that's not producing. Oh no, I've already pulled out all the stuff. Okay. So there's that. Right, now let's try and re-rotate this again. So that looks like it's going to line up pretty well with if I was to build out a collection system here. I might need to actually, like, I wonder if I can come down a bit and then local grid, and then we need to God, that's like going to be really hard to tell which way that's facing. And even if I do welding up like a, I can just use, yeah, what I'll just use some conveyor junctions. That'll be easier. And then I can have hopefully a collector on the end of that. I need some steel plate for that as well. So we have that, and then we should be able to rotate everything around. So let's see, how can we go about doing that? We want to go the other way, and then we'll come. Oh, and yeah, no, this isn't going to work because
Energy critical.
I need to place a connector. See, will that work? It'll be close. It'll be close, but it should work. So what we need to do is I need to bring this up so that I can place the connector on it and then rotate it down. So there'll be like a very, very, very small amount of clearance between this ejection system and the connector beneath it. Now I do need to get rid of that. Connector here. And I don't have everything I need for that, so let's grab them out. Alright. And now before I weld those up, I'm just going to make sure that I can actually even bring this down to the right level. I think the... Ooh. Has this got displacement that I can... Oh, I can bring it down. Haha, nice. Is that as far as we can go? What about the hinge? Don't have any displacement, do they? No. Okay, so we'll lock that. And we'll lock this one. And we will see. What I can do is I can put some test material on the end of that.
No energy.
Crap. Let me just hop in the cockpit here. I can put like a test rock in the connector, and then I can just have throw out on, and we'll see if that works. So now that I've got enough power, I'm going to go back to my survival kit, which we will soon upgrade into a medical room. So we now have the silver for it. So I'll be able to heal and recharge a lot faster than this. Oh, and I'll be able to change my suit, although I think I'm in my normal outfit. The like the slightly green soldier outfit, which I quite like. There is there's a frozen skin. Well, not like a frozen as in the Disney kind, but there's an icy kind that you can wear. But that's, yeah, I'd have to get it from drop pods and whatnot. Might even be able to buy it off of the Steam Workshop. I don't. Oh, the marketplace. Sorry. All right, we just need to like build a bunch of construction components. Just always running out of those. So we don't need to weld that up. Oh, we do need to weld up these three. So we've got everything for that. And how are we going for these? Actually, what I can do is I can just grind down a couple more of these. I have an excellent storage of conveyors right next to me. That'll do. So let's weld them up. If I can point at it. Oh, that's one of them. And that one. There we go. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go into that sorter, and I can do that from inside the ship because it's not connected to anything else, so there will only be one sorter on this grid. So conveyor sorter, we need to whitelist ore just to even allow stuff to go through it. And we'll not hit the drain all button yet, but we will go to the connector, which should be on the end, and we'll have throw out on. And then what we'll do is we will navigate our way around. Maybe I should just grind that down for the time being. Grab a little bit of iron and go around to the connector here and just hope that that goes into the collector there nicely. So we'll go connector, whoop, should throw it out, and that works. Okay, so that's making me a little bit more comfortable to just set this connector. It's on throw out, conveyor sorter, drain all, on. So we should start passing everything through. There we go. And now we can see that going into the refinery. Unfortunately, it's not going to come through in a large enough amount to have all four of them going at once. It would if I was able to hook up the cargo container, but it's just going to use that for the time being, and unfortunately it's going through the cobalt, so I wonder if I can rearrange that to do iron instead. Yeah, see if we can rearrange these a little bit. It should be doing a bit of stone, and now it should be doing a bit of gold. Can we see that? That looks like some gold's gone through. And I've got a control panel here so we can have a look at our refineries in the inventory screen. And we'll just... where's our ore? Go into the ore cargo storage, and we'll just put our cobalt in there because we don't need that done right now. A bit of cobalt is nice, but we want to prioritize our gold and our iron. So that's going to fill up. Our refineries are going to start to fill, and so that one's full, then that one's full, and now it'll fill up this one. And then it will start overflowing into the ore storage. Yeah. So now what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to iron. The iron ejection, I should say. Oh, it should be doing it now anyway. Okay, cool. And it should, in theory, refine everything in the order that it's in those cargo containers. So we should just be able to do that. Now I want to get a refinery running through a bunch of iron instead of gold. So hopefully we can go in and grab, yeah. Go to ore storage. We can switch that over. Yeah, we'll just fill that up with iron before it can, there we go. So we've got a bunch of gold and a bunch of iron going. So what we need to do is go production, and we want to have a bunch of yield modules. Yeah. So yield. We need 4 per refinery. Yeah, and we've got 4 refineries, so we need 16. So that's... Oh, that's 100, sorry. We don't need 100 yield modules, we need... Yeah, that's better. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 yield modules. So, we will go through them like that. And that'll take it a fair while. I probably won't need to do all those motors. Need to add some... We're getting to the point where we need to add more assemblers and assemblers that have speed modules, and I think I'm gonna have a bit of a goofy idea with the assemblers, because right now if I show you where they are, let's see, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, we'll just run through that. Right now where they are, if I was to build out the floor, it would actually block this lowest module point, which we don't want to do. And the way that I'm going to sort of fix that is all of these assemblers I'm going to move up 1 block by putting them on rotors, and then I can have spinning assemblers, because I have a feeling like I'm not going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm probably not going to need 12 assemblers, but 6 assemblers, all with speed modules spinning around, should look nice and hilarious. So right now I need to check on my power situation. That's just something I've realized I need to have a look at. So batteries on the base are recharging, which means the hydrogen engines are outputting more than enough to supply the refineries, which are using 500. So they're using a total of 4 megawatts. So yeah, we're more than fine, assuming I have enough hydrogen. Yeah, it's decent. Too bad I can't get the remaining hydrogen off of that. I might be able to, once this cargo... This cargo container is empty now, right? No, it's still going through them. Once that's empty, I might actually be able to hook it back up to its connector. I don't know if it has enough thrust to hold its body up on each of the directions. But I don't know, those large grid hydrogen thrusters, even the small ones, are actually pretty powerful, so we will see. Now, I did take off one of the gyroscopes, but I do have another gyroscope on there, I think. What did I put on the other side? Did I only have one gyroscope? I did, okay. Yeah, good thing I thought of that. Let's replace the gyroscope before I try moving this around. Where's my gyros? Ooh. I think the drills are now the heaviest part of it. Okay, so that's definitely the cargo container emptied. Right. I mean, that does make it somewhat easy to convey a back up. I could put a connector here off of this parachute port instead. Or I could just put a connector here and then hook it up that way. That could work. Ideally, I want to get it back into its launch position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try that. I'm going to go grab a gyroscope, put that on my hotbar. And hopefully, yeah, I've got all what did that just... I definitely didn't pull out a gyroscope's worth of stuff, yeah, that's what I thought. You can just place it here. Right, how much control have we got? Fair bit. Now, is that assembly there gonna get in the way? It shouldn't be in the way of connecting me back up, so can I actually Oh, I can actually. Aha, I have enough control to tip myself back into position. I think that assembly is actually going to be in the way, so let me just grind that off. Don't need that anymore. And we can deposit all of those back in here. There we go. Shave all this stuff off. Nice. And we should be able to maneuver it back into position now. Oh, I don't actually have a thruster on that side anymore, actually. Let me just, while I'm thinking, actually no, it won't be using that much fuel, so I'll just leave it floating like that. A little bit precarious, but it'll be alright. We need a thruster like that. So, there we go. And I should have, just the leftover steel. Oh no, I actually have a bunch of stuff in my inventory for some reason. Oh, what I just ground off, yeah. There we go, that makes sense. Right, now, we should be able to twist a bit, hover, yeah, and then we go, whoops, up, sorry, and then down. But controlling stuff from this perspective is just like impossible. It's so unintuitive. Back is down and spacebar is down. Okay. And we want to go that way. And back a bit. Now, can we... Oh, yes! Nice! Okay. Mission accomplished. We have successfully landed and returned. So, what I want to do is, for the remainder of today's episode, I am going to work on this area here, which is going to be my ship printing area. So I'm going to clear out my previous work here, so I've got some headroom. And the idea here is we're going to have a welder wall in the floor, which we can... where'd that scrap go? There it is. Which we can extract extrude, I should say. This is the probably more correct term. We can extrude a blueprint from underneath. So we'll have like a piston in the corner that goes up and down with a projector on it, and that will pull up a projection here. This area is, I suppose it could be, no, it's wide enough and long enough that if I have something that doesn't quite fit in, I can just rotate it around so that like at least the longest facing area can be extracted from it. Okay, and we can delete that. Bye bye. So this is going to be the size of our printer, so something nice and big. We'll be able to pull all the stuff out of that. So the cool thing about the welders is they have in the large grid variant, they have a conveyor port on either side. So I only need to have a line of conveyors like under here, and then I can just have all the welders going along here, and then they'll all connect up to each other. So all I need to do is place the first row of conveyors at the right height, and then the welders. So this needs to be down one more block effectively. So we just need to place the conveyors in like that. Now, can I place them from the ground? That's the question. Oh, I can. Perfect. That makes it a lot easier. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, and then that's the middle. 1, 2, and 3. Cool. And then we can place our welders facing up like that. And we'll make sure that the port is facing like that. And then we just fill this in. And then we go back to our glass. We need the 3x3, which we place there, and then we need one in that corner, and then the only piece that's missing is here. Alright, so that is placement for our welder wall, which should look quite nice. And then I can have a control station in here, or maybe I'll elevate it a little bit so I can look down in there. That should look quite nice. Now I need to get those conveyors welded up and then the welders themselves. But have we made any progress in here with our superconductor components? We should have 320. Nice. Okay, so we do actually have everything we need to start building those yield modules, and I'm gonna have to pull them out of here, so this might take a little while, but just bear with me. I'll probably just skip it for you guys. Alright, so now we have all of those yield modules placed. Maybe I should have picked a different pattern, something that's a little bit more interesting to look at. But now if we have a look at our refineries, which I'm going to just change the numbers of. I don't like them being not 1, 2, 3, 4. Refinery 1, 2, 3, and 4. So they were consuming 560 kilowatts before, and they're still consuming that, but now they are producing twice as much from what I put in, I'm pretty sure. So if we go into our refineries, so let's go into large blocks, and we need welders. And we'll make 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. So that'll use 10,000 iron. Well, one thing yeah, you know what? Because of the, I am lacking assemblers, so maybe I should work on that as well. Should get a couple more of the assemblers up and running. And I can just place them in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these down, and we're going to put them on their spinny pedestals, and then I'll redo that one afterwards. So all of these are going to be on advanced rotors. I'll make sure they're all in the same orientation so that they look funny and cool. I'm basically doing it so that this
Energy low.
I guess factory is what it's going to kind of look like. Is going to have all kinds of moving parts in it. So we'll have ore going down into the refineries, and then the assemblers will be like spinning up on these. So that's how we'll do it. And I don't think I have assemblers on here, so let me go for a assembler. I have to kind of like reach around my microphone a little bit now because I've got it right in front of me. It makes it kind of difficult to reach the keyboard. There we go. So we'll place it like that. I've realized that conveying off of the tops of these is gonna actually be somewhat challenging, because I can't like put a straight tube on it, otherwise the tube will spin around. So for it to connect to the rest of the base, it's definitely going to have at least another rotor on top of each one of these assemblers. Attaching them is going to be somewhat interesting. I have a feeling I'll do it like this, where they connect from the ceiling, and the best way of doing that might honestly be to like weld up a sheet, put the advanced rotors on them, put rotor parts on top of all the assemblers, and then like use some merge blocks to connect that sheet to the rest of this grid, and then once that's in place, all of the rotor parts will be in place for all of the rotors, so I can then attach them like that. But I think that's going to be a job for a later me. The far easiest solution right now is just to connect, to run a conveyor line from under here and into these cargo containers. That is the far simpler solution. So that is all of the assemblers done. Now, if we go into assemblers, we're going to call this our main assembler, which is using that, and it's not cooperative, that's cooperative, that's cooperative, 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 and cooperative. So all of my assemblers are now functional. And we should now be able to place a medical room. So grab that, put it in my build planner, and then tell it to build the rest of the things there. Okay, now we have a medical room. Lovely. Chop off that block. We can place in some coverings here. Go and grab a bunch of steel plates so I don't have to see all this ugliness underneath here. Let's just cover that up. Lovely. Now I can even change my uniform. Sweet, if I want to. And what we need to do is go to the medical room, spawn name base 2. Sweet, so medical room's done, assemblers are done. Now we need to pipe up our welders, and we'll just use this. We'll use this conveyor port here. That works. Boom. Weld that, weld that. Okay, so we need this one, this one, this one, that one, and then just a whole bunch of conveyor junctions. And then one row of welders, and then they should be able to weld the rest of each other. Now I just need a nice easy way of getting up there so that I can weld all of them, and I think I'm just gonna grab out a couple of stairs. So if we grab some interior panels, we can just place these like there and there. I should be able to reach everything, and then I'm gonna need another set to do the welders. So place one here, here, and here. Then we should be able to reach more or less all of them. Might need one in the middle. Looks pretty good. Okay, let's go for some conveyor junctions. 4, 5, 6, 7 is what we need. So the first thing we're going to print off is a very old atmospheric miner that I made in like my very first world. It did have some like modded guns on the top of it, so there's going to be like a hole effectively on the top where I've got room to place a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm thinking of having just some more drills on. You'll see when we get to it. But yeah, well that'll be something for next episode. We'll work on that next episode. So I won't worry about it now. But that's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should be all the welders. Oh wow, and they're actually don't even take up much volume. Okay. And now this here is our welding wall. So in the next episode, we're going to add in a piston, some sort of... Actually, no, I only need a piston with a projector on it, and then it should just be able to print out of the top of it. I won't need, later on I'll have a welding arm that'll reach down here, and it'll be able to do any like manual repairs that the underside welders can't reach. But I think this shape looks pretty cool. And I believe if I painted them, I'd be able to like add some warning strips or something along there. Maybe I'll add some warning strips around the edges. So I can't place any here, but I can place some along here and along here. So that could look cool. Yeah, but I think that is where we'll leave it for today. We got a whole lot done, managing to land ourselves safely back down from space, and yeah, actually managed to even dock it back onto the port. We haven't been attacked by anything in a good long while, so we've been able to get a little bit of progress done. I have cleared this up now finally, and I added some lights on here so we can at least see down in here. So we've got a spotlight. That hole is actually a lot deeper than it feels when you're flying down and around in a machine. I do need to chop down this line. That's not needed any. Well, this line here isn't needed, but that line takes up to my ship, which honestly I should probably put on a different dock, because that is a little bit of a precarious drop. I wouldn't want to like fall out and then just die in the hole. That wouldn't be a good thing to do. So maybe I can build out a little dock here or something like that. But you know, one thing I can do is I can add a bunch of speed modules to these. It will increase the amount of power that they draw. But are they actually? They're not. Not too. Is that coming from me? Yes, that is about to make my life very miserable. Thrush, mayfly. Okay, the thrush isn't going to attack me, but I think the mayfly will. So let me hop in my fighter.
No fuel.
Turn that on. Thrush is leaving me alone. I think. Camera. Yeah, he's leaving me alone. But you, Mr. Mayfly, are you coming for me? Yes, it is, it is. Ah, that thing got annihilated. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this a little closer to the base. I don't want to have to do that run next time. I don't want to put it too close to the rocket that'll get incinerated. Here we go. Charge on. So there we go. There we can see how much sort of space we have in here. And you know, honestly, this does feel kind of small. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It should be okay for now. Is that thunder? No, I don't. There hasn't been thunder on Triton yet, and I don't think there is thunder. I can get rid of this. It's not piped up to anything anymore. Oh, I will stop farting around and doing all sorts of extra little things that are unnecessary. I need somewhere to put a button panel. We will leave it at that for today, I reckon. Oh my god. I need to just, I'm just gonna cut that out. I'm just gonna skip to right now and say, okay, everyone, that is where we will leave it for today. I've got a little bit of damage on here, but that should actually be hopefully repaired by these welders. So, but that projector's actually on. So, what I can do, let me get to an operational area here. Here we go to welders, turn them on, and they should be able to fix that. Make sure I don't get too close. It should be definitely done by now, so that's just a visual bug. I'm pretty sure it's not actually able to weld up anything, because I believe my cargo container has parts for just about everything. And I've got displays, computers, radio comms, detector comms. So it's not trying to fill in like a decoy that it doesn't have the parts for example. So I think that should be okay. So my question is, has that repaired the programmable blocks in here? Do I have my... Oh, it has. Nice. We've got everything all back in order. And it has built my... Well, it has built my reactors. Oh, I think I had reactors on there anyway. Cool. Yeah, the one thing I don't like is when you're in first person, this is the first person view, this is third person. I can actually see my head. Normally you would have a like astronaut's helmet, but the helmet gets like cut out in first person, but not their like head that's on the inside. So my first person view is technically like 20 centimeters above my head, which is very frustrating when flying. But yeah, that's enough. We're all done for today, and I'll see you next week, everybody. Bye bye.